and once again, we're here at the Red Zone tonight. The Lady Aces will be taking on the Wayne Trace Raiders in a matchup that can decide who wins the Green Meadows Conference. Starting lineups for Wayne Trace, they have starting number 2, 5'7" guard, sophomore Claire Sin. Number 12, 5'7" guard forward, a junior, Sadie Sin. Number 15, Kaylee Shepard, 5'7", and a junior. Number 20, Gracie Goodikins, 5'4", and a senior. And number 32, Brooke Sin, 5'5", and a senior. Expect to see these girls shooting a lot from the outside. Starting for Hicksville, number 2, Caitlin Bergman, junior at 5'11". Number 13, Micah Schrader, 5'9", junior. Number 13, Tiffany, next one is Alexis Kearns, senior at 5'8". Number 21, number 22, senior at 6'1", Addison Bergman. And finally, Harley Schumann, a junior, 5'7", number 24.
And now normally, this being the last home game of the season, the seniors would get the start, but it shows how important this game is, Jim.
Yes.
That Coach Josh Reese getting things, the girls understand the reason why. They're not going to put all the seniors on the floor as would typically happen on the last home game, because they don't want to take any chance of letting the Raiders come out red hot and maybe put them behind the 8-ball. So,
yes.
So there's that. And the other thing is just I want everybody to understand right off the bat that of the 11 players on the varsity roster for Wayne Trace, only 3 have a last name that isn't Sin. There are 8 Sins, the 8 deadly sins. They could call them that. It'd be like, they should get T-shirts. The 8 deadly sins of Kung Fu at Wayne Trace. I don't know. Anyway.
Yes.
But yeah, so we'll do our best to try to differentiate the sins from each other. 8 minutes on the clock, and here we go.
Oh.
I kind of like that, the 8 deadly sins.
Addie Bergman going up against Claire Sin. We're ready. Half an hour to throw the ball up. And
easily
the ball
controlled.
Is back to Alexis Kearns.
You said that the 3 officials made a long drive over from Lucas County here tonight, Jim.
Yes, they did. They just happened to know them. Ball down low to Addie. Double team on her.
Loose.
Ball gets loose.
Nice job, Harley Schumann.
Schumann picks it up. Gets it to Micah Schrader out to Kate Bergman. Have a defense coming at you all the time. Addie Bergman over to Schumann. Back down to Addie inside in the lane. And
jump ball.
She dribbled the ball and
when she put it down on the floor, that was number 32, Brooke Sin, that was right there grabbing at the basketball.
Goodikins is number 20.
Gracie, a senior. We've called her name.
Into the lane.
Now it's the Raiders' turn to be stymied a little bit on the perimeter. Oh, there we go.
There you go. Number 2, Claire Sin. The 3 ball. I tell you, they're going to be shooting from out there.
If the junior varsity squad was any indication, they're not going to be shy about pulling the trigger.
Schumann drives to the hoop. Puts up the shot. And the Wayne Trace fans are already fired up.
How could that
15.
not be an offensive foul? Shepard picks up her first personal. We'll hold back on the editorializing. Here we go. Schumann at the line.
That's one.
All right.
And she missed the second one.
Almost slapped out of there by Addie Bergman, but the Raiders maintain control.
Shot put up. Addie with the rebound. Gives it to Micah Schrader, and she's quickly down the floor. For to Kate Bergman. Cross court. Schumann. Inside to Addie. Turn that way. And she is fouled. Shepard.
Not in the act of shooting, but that'll be 2 quick ones on Shepard.
And she will be quickly removed.
In the game, Miriam Sin, number 10. Lots of sisters and cousins out there.
Yes.
Katie Bergman.
No. Micah Schrader fighting for the loose ball, and Goodkins came out with it. Back across the floor. Sin, Miriam. Brings it out front.
Claire Sin. Claire Sin with the ball now.
Back to Miriam. Brooks in into the corner.
Deflected, but right into the hands of Claire. Might be easier just to call the Sin girls by their first names and just leave it at that.
Pass inside.
That's going to be over and back if she picks it up, and well, they're going to say touched by the Aces. Okay.
Baseline. Takes it back out.
Long
Goodikins
three.
in and out. And it's going to be kicked by Wayne Trace.
Go to the Aces. 4:23. Wayne Trace leading 2 to, or make that 3-1. Okay.
A little bit short. Intended for Schumann. Rebound. Addie Bergman. Gives it to Schrader. Kate Bergman on the wing. Out front, Schumann. Micah Schrader. Kate Bergman. Schumann down low to Addie.
Addie gets herself out of trouble, and she's going to get fouled again.
She's going to get fouled everywhere she goes.
10 or 12.
10.
10 picks it up.
Miriam.
Yep. Team foul number 3.
Alexis Kearns to Schumann. In the corner to keep. You watch 20. She's going to sink right back in on Addie Bergman.
Travel called on Schumann. So turn it back over to the Raiders. 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Low scoring game.
Got to settle down. Pass inside. Claire Sin. Goodikins from outside.
She hits it. And that's 6 for the Raiders now.
Schumann up the floor to Kate. Schrader to Schumann to Kern. And
Timeout.
Coach
It's going to be
Freeze has the timeout called.
Josh
30
Freeze.
seconds.
Yep. Team down by 5, and he has been watching intently how the Raiders are doing things defensively and offensively too, but I think been paying close attention to how they're setting things up defensively. And at this point, I guess he's got something he's going to share with the girls he wants them to do. Of course, this is a hugely important game. The Lady Aces came so close to having a share of the GMC championship last season. That's been one of their big goals. I mean, they've made no bones about it right from the beginning. They want to have at least a piece, if not an outright GMC crown.
Oh, bad pass.
And a foul. And that'll be on Bergman.
Jeez. That's not a very smart foul.
Nope, trying to get the ball back after it went through her hands on that inbounds pass. So we go under 3 minutes here in the opening quarter.
Pass inside.
Deflected out of bounds by Schumann.
Clareson with the ball to Goodikins. Just passing on the perimeter.
Yep.
Somebody's going to cut. Goodikins in the lane. Pass outside.
Second attempt, no good. And caught again by the Raiders. Deflected, but
Sadie Sin gives it to Claire.
on the ball, and that's going to be a jump ball. Should go to the Aces.
Schrader with the ball. Goodikins working on her.
Addison down in the corner. Gets it back out to Micah Schrader with a minute 20.
Schumann with it.
Schumann,
Yeah, the jump ball.
jump ball. And that'll be the Raiders' ball. As their aggressiveness has been paying off.
Chelsea Sin now is in the ball game, replacing Brooke Sin. Goodikins gives it to Claire. Miriam. Goodikins. Turned around by Claire, and she misses it.
Kearns cleared the ward and managed to beat the press. Schumann.
And she gets an offensive foul.
That'll be the first personal on Harley Schumann, and team foul number 2 on the Aces. Harley will come out. Coach Freese talking with her, keeping her calm.
That's Sanders in the game for Schumann. Ball inside to Claire. Ball knocked out of her hands. She gets it back. Goodikins. Larson. Goodikins from downtown.
Out of bounds. Will go to the Aces with 1.4 seconds left. They're going to reset the clock a little bit. And they're going to make it 2 seconds even. One of the officials had his eye on the scoreboard with that ball going out of bounds. They launch it to Saunders. Nope.
And that'll be the end of the first period with the Aces leading, or the Aces, the Raiders leading 6-1.
So low scoring first quarter, and the Aces find themselves in the hole. We'll get ready for the second quarter of varsity action here tonight. And while we're doing that, we'll listen to some music from the upper deck, and we'll say a big thank you to the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio, our basketball broadcast underwriters. Make it possible for us to bring you Aces basketball action here on Hicksville Community Television. We want to thank them so very much, especially since, well, we're winding down the regular season. And, of course, the Aces are going to be on the road for tournament play coming up later in the month. And thanks to Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick and Jim Schmidt Ford here in Hicksville. We're going to be right there with them down at Lincoln View. So we'll look forward to that. And in the meantime, we'll ask you to say a big thank you to them when you get the chance. Whenever you see Aces basketball on HIX-TV, they're the ones that help make it possible. The Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio. Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick, Jim Schmidt Ford, and online at jimschmidtauto.com. Well, your fans just come in all shapes and sizes, don't they, Jim?
Oh, yes, yes. Yep. The smaller, the better.
Yes, indeed. All right, Aces ball to start things off here in the second quarter. They're down by 5. A very low scoring first 8 minutes.
Oh, the Aces have it inbound.
Knocked away. Recovered by Addie Bergman, and then ripped out of her hands again. Boy, Jim, against these Lady Raiders, you cannot stand still holding the ball in front of you for more than about a half a second. Otherwise, they're going to be after it.
Yep, they're clamping on it.
Possession arrow will give the ball to Wayne Trace.
And they're not weaklings either, as they clamp onto it and don't let go. Shot put up by Sadie Sin, and she missed.
And that's going to be a foul on Miriam Sin. That'll be her second. And team foul number 4 for the Lady Raiders.
Goodikins come back in the game for Miriam.
Aces ball out of bounds. Emily Sanders. Pressure from the Lady Raiders. Raider partially blocked. And another jump ball, and that'll go to the Aces. That was a wrestling match between Lexi Kearns and Chelsea Sin.
I take Lexi. She'll out wrestle her. Get her down
there
low.
We go. Count it.
Addie Bergman with the bucket and a foul.
The Aces need that to start happening pretty
on 12.
And a little bit more regularly.
Yep, 12. Sadie Sin.
Team foul number 5. In and out. Quickly down the floor, they'll pull the trigger.
in and out. Addie Bergman comes up with it. Micah Schrader across the line. Nice crossover. Go get the ball. Sanders in the corner, returns. Back out, Sanders. Inside, intended for Addie, knocked away. Taken by Chelsea Sin. Claire Sin, down, jumper, off the rim, no good.
Ball loose.
And it's knocked out of bounds by Sanders.
Stay with Wayne Trace. 6:22 to go in the half. Schumann will check back in.
Sanders will take a seat.
Aces still have only committed 2 fouls so far in the first half.
Goodikins declares in.
Good look for Gutekunst, and she slams it home. 6 points now for Gracie.
Something tells me Goodikins makes his team run. Turn, no good. The rebound off Brooks in. Claire out front. Goodikins again. Turns with the rebound, and she's going to be fouled.
I think that's going to be on Claire Sin.
On 32.
Nope, I take that back. That'll be
Brooks
Brooks Sin. I should have been smart and said that's going to be on Sin.
Yeah.
And
yeah, right.
I had an 8 out of 11 chance of being right.
This is going to be a sin.
Timeout on the floor, quick 30-second from the Wayne Trace Raiders bench. The Raiders up by a half a dozen, 9-3. As so far, the Aces have been stymied a little bit. They've had a couple of good-looking shots that have just been a little bit off. And so far, they've got to give the Lady Raiders credit. They've been doing a good job of not letting Addison Bergman get too open down low on the inside. Yeah. And they've cut her off a few times.
They double and sometimes they even triple team her because the defensive player drops back on them from where the ball was. They drop back right in on her.
So Aces ball as we resume play.
Now they go to a 1-3-1 defense. This should be pretty easy. Turns. Kate Bergman, too long. Addie. Goodikins down the floor with the ball. Travel. Claire.
Yep.
Turns in the lane, gets her own rebound, puts it across. No luck.
Yep. There's probably 4, maybe 6 points Alexis Kern should have, but he hasn't been able to get it to drop. Around the perimeter inside, down
nice
low.
pass.
Nothing doing, out of bounds.
Girl should have put it up instead of dribbling away.
Sanders will come in for Katie Bergman. And also coming out will be Claire Sin. And in for her,
Tiffany Sin. Played the JV game.
Yeah, she had 11 points.
Yes.
In the junior varsity matchup. Past the halfway point of the second quarter here. Aces down by 6.
No bucket.
Nope.
Rebound, Schumann. Oh, geez.
Schumann's going to get manhandled.
That's Sin. That's her 5th foul tonight.
Yeah. Tiffany Sin picks up her first personal of the varsity game. I wonder if that's part of the reason why she's in there, to be able to just
mug him
a little bit and beat him up a little bit, tire him out a little bit. Lexi Kearns come out of the game.
Claire Sin back at the line.
Shots for Schumann, misses. Front end of the 1-and-1, so far the Aces just cannot catch a break offensively. Schrader holds up, tries to toss it back to Schumann, and she's going to be ball taken from her, and then a travel called on Brooke Sin to turn it back over to Hicksville. And the Aces in the bonus here.
That guy down in the front row just giving the official lots of words.
Addie Bergman turn around off the iron and no good.
And she just got her 2nd foul.
.239 left in the half. Again, 9-3 Raiders with the lead. As Coach Freese is going to have a few things to talk about in the halftime locker room.
Yeah.
It's evidently so far tonight at least, the Raiders have got the Aces number. Cold shooting for the Aces hasn't helped them out any. Oh,
and
that hurts.
Goodikent.
9 points now for her. Sanders, no.
But this is like playing in an ice box.
Yeah. There's just nothing. And then another long distance, and count that one for Claire Sin, and now she's got 6. And just like that, the Aces are in a world of hurt. They're down by a dozen. Schrader with a long 2 to stop the bleeding. Still a 10-point advantage, though, for the Lady Raiders.
Yep, they're going to spread the floor now.
Continue to move it around the outside as we go under a minute. Almost stolen by Schumann. And the Raiders, they're content just to
dribble and pass.
Yeah, show off their dribbling skills and move the ball around the perimeter, run the wheel, and lead the clock.
Yeah. They've run a minute off. This could be what the whole second half would be.
Yeah. Under 20 seconds now.
Goodikins looking around for the clock.
They really don't need to take a shot if they don't want to. They can go into the locker room with a 10-point lead, but there you go. Something opens up, might as well take advantage, and holy smoke.
Holy smoke is right.
An ugly first half here in the varsity contest as the Lady Aces will head to the locker room down by a dozen. We haven't seen that for very many times here this season. All right, we've reached the half, and at halftime, it's the Lady Raiders of Wayne Trace leading Hicksville 17-5, our halftime score. We're going to take a break, but we invite you to stay tuned. Jim and I will be back, and we'll have all the exciting second half play-by-play coming your way right here on HIX-TV.
Here for the second half. Scoring in the first half, Wayne Trace had 17 total points. Claire Sin had 2 threes and a basket for 8. Gracie Goodikins had 3 threes for 9.
That's it.
And that's enough. For Hicksville, Micah Schrader had a deuce. Addie Bergman, 1 basket. And Harley Schumann 1 free throw for their total of 5. So that's not a pretty night so far for the Aces.
The Raiders came in and they have done what few teams have been able to do. They totally shut down Addison Bergman. I mean, usually by halftime, we're looking at Addison Bergman having anywhere from 8 to 12 points usually in the first half. 2 points for her. And usually, you know, the Aces supporting cast can be counted on. Usually there's one other lady ace that will also have a bit of a hot night along with Addison, whether it's, 6 points in the first half from Lexi Kearns or from Micah Schrader or whatever. But again, none of the supporting cast has been able to step up either. So, I mean, give the Raiders credit. I mean, they got the Aces number tonight, or at least they did in the first half.
Yeah. And they've got them completely shut down. They're double and triple teaming on Addie, and nobody else is shooting well. So
yeah,
they're all over them on defense.
Because we saw some really good looks at the hoop from. Kearns had a couple of really nice good looks at but none of them would go down. Not good at the free throw line, and again, Schrader's had a couple of times where she's had a Schumann, and they just haven't been able to get them to go down.
Yep. Yeah, Addie had a shot, she missed.
Yep. So in and out, and
yep.
Katie Bergman hasn't been able to do anything from out on the perimeter, so
Addie's got to watch. She's got 2 fouls, and she got those by reaching over, so she needs to learn to not do that quickly.
So here we go. Raiders with the ball to start the second half.
Number 20 out here is Goodikins, and she's just a heck of a shot.
She's a good shot, yeah.
Yes.
We've called her name many times over the last 3 years. It's her senior year.
There's another one.
There she goes.
Oh, a little bit long on that one.
Kearns with the board, going quickly over to Schrader. We'll see what adjustments the Aces might have made to their offensive series here.
Baseline. Addie into the middle, gives it back to Kearns.
There we go.
Gets a 2.
Aces need that. They need to have a few other players score some points to maybe take some of the pressure off of Addie.
Right.
Down low and travel. going to need to put together a nice offensive run here, get themselves back into contention.
Kearns passed up the same shot she just made. And she gets a rebound, and it's off Wayne Trace.
Out of bounds. Official whistle, and he's running out, and he's going to speak.
Got to keep your hands out of her face. That's called face guarding. Kate Bergman from the corner. It's off the rim and down the road quickly with Goodykins taking it all the way. Misses the shot, and Addie gets a rebound.
Wayne Trace coach getting her 2 cents in about the talking to her player got. There we go.
Micah Schrader, 4 points. 17-9. And they're not going to be in a hurry to do anything. If it opens up, it opens up. If it doesn't, we'll just pass the ball.
They can afford to be very patient when you're up by 8 points.
Yeah, they're not going to shoot. If it opens up for an open shot, they'll take one, but
that winds up in the hands of Addison Bergman.
Schumann.
Katie, there we go. And now they're starting to spread the scoring around, so the Wayne Trace Raiders can't key in on just one particular player.
Yeah, they still have a 6-point lead.
The Aces will move it around the perimeter for a bit. Micah Schrader, bingo! And like that, Jim, the 12-point lead is down to 3. And timeout, Wayne Trace.
Oh.
So the Raiders head coach was doing a bit of a slow burn there. She did not like the official talking with her player about putting hands up right into Addison Bergman's face. And then they were upset when Addie cleared the boards down there. She was holding the ball, and really all she was doing was turning around, but because she's so tall, her elbows are at face height, and they were trying to convince the officials that she was throwing elbows.
It's like if their elbows are here.
Yeah.
If they're, she's got hers in here tight with her side.
She didn't have them out like the chicken wings.
No.
She had them parallel in front of her, almost like, you know, you're holding up, like, I don't know, like for a goalpost or something like that. And
blocking punches.
Yeah. So the Aces put together the kind of run that they needed to close the gap. I mean, they're still down by 3, but they've made it a much more manageable game now.
Right. Yep. They could use a couple more threes.
Yep. So they'll come back onto the floor. It'll be Wayne Trace's ball.
Look at, see, they've already got the floor spread. They're way across.
Sin gets it into Claire Sin, out of bounds. Again, if anybody has tuned in at this point and they've missed the game up to this point, we should let you know that of the 11 players on the varsity squad.
Wow.
Wow, that's a nice shot from
Claire Sin.
Claire Sin. 8 of the 11, their last name is Sin. Addison Bergman right in the paint, tosses it over to Kearns. And that'll be over and back. Micah Schrader lost the dribble right there on the half-court line. And so Raiders now up by 6 after that last three-point shot from Claire Sin. Get the ball back. Maybe see if they can spread that lead back out a little further again. Because let's face it, of the 7 field goals they have successfully shot tonight, Jim, 6 of the 7 have been for 3 points.
Well, Kate Bergman pulled the rebound. Ball is across the 10-second line.
Push off. That'll be on the floor.
12.
That'll be Sadie Sin picking up her second. Up and good. And a travel, so the Aces will get the ball right back.
That was a nice move by that inbound play. Just one pass, and she was right under the hoop.
Yep. So the Aces will get a chance to maybe do it again here. Schrader off the iron, no good. That would have been a huge shot if it had gone down.
Yeah, huge. How?
Knocked loose by Alexis Kearns. And Schrader gets the ball stripped.
Goodikins did it. Claire Sin. Brooke Sin, Goodikins.
Up and good.
That's Sadie Sin's first 2.
And that's only the second 2-point field goal that they've hit tonight. Everything else has been 3-pointers.
Kate Bergman from way downtown. Rebound to the Raiders. Claire Sin. Another shot put up, and the Aces with the rebound. Schumann picked it up, gave it to Schrader.
Hicksville down by 6. That should be Aces ball.
Corner.
Schrader got it. Just what the doctor ordered there. And that'll be a foul on Katie Bergman. Good foul. That's her first and team foul number 1. And that's going to put Sadie Sin at the line to shoot 2. Her Wayne Trace Lady Raiders leading the Aces by 3 right now. She hits it. I had a feeling they were going to be pretty good free throw shooters, Jim.
I can't figure out what would make you think that. Being able to shoot threes.
Yep. Got them both. Those are the first 2 free throws of the night for the Raiders. So under a minute to go here. Aces down by 5. Katie Bergman loses it. Wayne Trace probably will see if they can run out the time here and go for a last shot.
Well, it's a fast quarter. Clareson. Goodikins gets the ball. 20 seconds.
So they're just going to go, and I imagine they might even pop it from three-point land here. We'll see.
Give it Goodikins. She'll pop it.
Yep. Got it.
Yeah.
That'll be.
This is going to have to, like break her arm or something.
Yep.
Holy cow.
In that second quarter, the Aces came out and they heated up a bit and they closed the gap to within 3 points, but the Raiders pull away late in the quarter. And after 3, it's Wayne Trace back on top by 8, 27-19. And they're playing the Empire Strikes Back out there.
Outscored them 14-10, but it doesn't show much.
Nope. So big 8 minutes left to go here in a very important game in the Green Meadows Conference for the Lady Aces. And as we get ready for that last quarter, we'll say again a big thank you to the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships here in Hicksville, Ohio. Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick, Jim Schmidt Ford, the Jim Schmidt Truck Lot, and of course online at jimschmidtauto.com. We are so proud to have their continued underwriting support for our Aces basketball broadcast here on Hicksville Community Television. We hope that you'll pass along your thanks to them as well, because without them, Aces basketball coverage would not be possible on HIX-TV. The Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio, Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick, Jim Schmidt Ford, and online at jimschmidtauto.com.
Well, this game isn't going to be determined by fouls on people. It might be determined by foul shots.
Only one team foul on either squad going into the fourth quarter. Aces will have the ball. They're down by 8. Stolen away. They can't afford to be and fouled. Jim, you cannot afford to take anything for granted out there and be that lackadaisical against these Lady Raiders.
Made some terrible passes.
So that will be the first foul on Micah Schrader, team foul number 2, and again at the line, shooting 2. Now we're going to have and they're having a discussion amongst the officials. First shot bounces and goes down. Sin Miriam gets her first, and she'll have one more. She makes it a 10-point game. Schumann. Another bad pass. And up and good.
Claire
Sin. She took advantage. And out of bounds. It'll stay with the Aces.
So we're going to have a timeout.
So timeout on the floor from Coach Josh Freese. A full 1 minute timeout as really the last minute of the third quarter and this first amount of minute of the fourth quarter, Jim, the Lady Aces just have not looked that good out there on the floor.
No,
some really...
They look like there's, you know, they got to get it done real quickly, and you don't.
I'd say just, you know, you can't afford to take it for granted that you got the pass and you're going to be able to just go up and make the easy layup, because they're going to be right there. And, you know, you get the pass, a couple passes down the floor to get out of their pressure. But once you get to three-quarters court, they're not going to just let you, so, I mean, a couple of times the Aces have lost the ball just because they really haven't been paying attention, or they've been thinking they're home free, I guess. I'm not sure how to put it into words.
Lackadaisical.
Yeah. So Hicksville with the ball on the baseline. Addison loses the ball, and she's going to foul Miriam Sin, so that'll be 3 on Bergman. And that'll be team foul number 3 on the Aces. And Miriam Sin is going to be back at the line, where she's 2 for 2 so far. This is the first one. She gets that one. Makes it 32-19. Burns loses it out of bounds.
Went off of Sanders.
Gracie Gutekunst, 12 points so far on 4 3-pointers.
She's got to have some small colleges looking at her.
I would think so.
And like Bluffton, Defiance.
If she doesn't have the height for going to one of the big time schools, but
she's a point guard.
Yeah,
she can play and she can shoot.
And again, they're going to just do their slow down game here.
Yep. And it goes off of her out of bounds.
That's the only thing that saved the Aces a couple of times in the first half, too, is Wayne Trace making some kind of an error to turn the ball over.
Oh. Schrader to Schumann down the floor.
Sanders loses it.
My goodness.
And it's kind of unusual seeing Hicksville handling the ball so poorly. Up and good.
Claire gets another.
I've got her now for 15 points unofficially. Sanders, no. Gets her own board. Addie Bergman's going to get hacked.
10.
That'll be Miriam Sin's third personal. It's only team foul number 2 on Wayne Trace. We're under 6 minutes to go in the game.
Schumann, nice move.
There we go. And a timeout as soon as she hits the bucket.
30-second timeout.
That will be the third one taken by Coach Josh Freese. He'll have 2 remaining for the balance of the game. Still a 13-point deficit for the Aces, so they've got a lot of ground to cover to get back into this game.
And not a lot of time to do it.
Nope. That first quarter did not help them at all. They came out stone cold and a real low scoring quarter, only able to get 1 point in, and they've never been able to recover from that initial 8 minutes. So the Aces had closed the gap.
Playing man now, have to.
Yeah. Might be number 4 on Addison.
Yep.
And that's team foul number 4 on the Aces. That'll be on the floor, and Addie may come back out for the last little bit. Kunst. Once again, they're going to just let the Aces come out and get them. Go in and draw the foul. And that'll be on Kearns. That'll be her first. Team foul number 5, and once again, Miriam Sin at the line. No good. Addison's back in the game already. Missed them both. Bergman grabs the rebound. 5 minutes left in the game. And Schumann travels. Kind of glad we don't keep track of turnovers, Jim.
Oh. This page would be black.
I was about to say, it would probably be a little bit depressing. Kunst gets the inbounds. Going to be on Schrader. Micah Schrader, her second personal, team foul number 6. And at the line will be Kaylee Shepard.
Yeah, she wanted to score.
Missed the first one. Katie Bergman coming back in for the rebounding. Shepard got the second one. Schrader trips on the ball and turns it over. 4:21. And they'll pull Addison out and put Emily Sanders back in, so that way they can minimize the chances of Addie picking up her 5th foul and getting disqualified from the game. In, up, good, count it. She's going to the line. Claire Sin with the bucket makes it a 16-point advantage.
Schumann gets the foul.
That'll be Harley's second. They'll bring in Addison Bergman to handle the rebound, hopefully. Claire Sin hits it. $18 points for Claire Sin as they get the ball right back. She traveled.
Got another timeout coming.
Katie Bergman was right there, and she took the stutter step. So Coach Josh Freese takes his next to last timeout. That'll probably be a full 1 minute. As the Aces see being undefeated in the GMC slipping away here tonight.
Yep. Now Claire Sin's having a career. She's got 18.
Yeah, so like I said, I've got her for 18, and I've got Gracie Gudekunst with a dozen. So that's 30 points right there just between the two of them.
Yep.
The other 8 belong to Miriam and Sadie Sin, and a point for Kaylee Shepard. Micah Schrader is the only Lady Ace in double figures. I've got her unofficially with 10.
Yep.
So depending on how things go, we'll have to sit down because I'm not sure how the league standings are coming into tonight's game.
They're both 5-0.
So if whoever wins this game would be controlling their own destiny, they'll each have one league game left.
Yep.
So if Wayne Trace wins tonight, as it looks like they probably will, and they're able to put away their opponent next week, they will be the outright GMC champs. If the Aces lose, they're going to have to, excuse me, not only win
They got to hope that
next week,
Wayne
but hope
Trace loses.
somebody beats the Raiders. Slapped away. Gudekunst lays it up and in, and she's going to go to the line. I think that's going to be another one on Schumann.
Yep.
Raiders in the bonus now. Schumann picks up her third personal foul. That was team foul number 8. So this will be a one-shot foul after the bucket. Missed it.
Man, oh man. They just save everything, and it comes back to them. And
Katie Bergman in and out again. She has not been able to hit. Normally she's good for 1 or 2 from that corner from three-point land, but not tonight. Gudekunst once again needs to catch up to her teammate Claire Sin. Katie Bergman stops, pops,
and got fouled.
Misses.
Number 2, Claire.
Claire Sin, that's her first. Katie Bergman at the line. Katie has been held scoreless so far tonight. Nope, she's got a bucket, excuse me. Misses. Aces remain down by 21. And she misses them both. People go tumbling all over the place. Kearns goes down and hits her head. So Coach and Doc Haggerty will go out. I was really going to say that, honest to goodness, Jim, after that free throw, that it's got to be the point of the game now where one of the things you want to make sure is that you don't get anybody hurt.
Yes.
Because, you know, let's face it, under 3 minutes, a 21-point deficit, odds are that this is going to be a loss for the Lady Aces. Like I said, so you want to make sure that everybody stays okay. You don't want, especially some of your key players, getting hurt, taken off the roster here. So they'll set
just like the boys.
Yeah, like I said, that we were getting kind of geared up for a big game at Wayne Trace tomorrow night, but it's looking like that might not be quite the battle. As again, looks like maybe at least 2, possibly 3 key players for the Aces varsity squad won't be dressing. We've heard that both Michael Myers and Jake Greer are not going to be playing, and that Parker Thiel is a game-time decision. Parker Thiel, I think, probably would play if either of those other 2 players were capable of taking the floor, but if neither of them are going to be playing, they may want to decide to rest him as well. So see what happens here. 2:35 left in the game. Lady Raiders battles to the lane, puts it up, draws the foul.
Shepard shooting.
Bergman's second foul, Katie Bergman's second foul. And that'll put Shepard at the line again. She gets it. There we go. 3 points for Shepard.
Katie Bergman with a lay-in.
4 points now for Katie.
Goes Claire, missed the lay-in.
Follow up, no good. And they get it back again.
Yep.
Right out of Schrader's hands.
Claire from the outside, it's no good. Rebound, Sadie.
By Miriamson.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I know, they all blend together after a while.
They need to put their names on them. We'll
Claire,
pull it out.
She gets it off to Kaylee Shepard. Shepard with 1:15, guarded by Addie Bergman. Kick back out and stolen by Schumann. And that'll be
it's Wayne Trace ball.
jump ball, and it goes back to the Raiders. Emily Sanders getting ready to check in for Hicksville. And Addie Bergman will come out. And Noelle Nuttall is going to check in. And she will spell Katie Bergman, who will get a round of applause, as that's Josh Freese raising the white flag a little bit. Starting to bring in some of the younger players with under a minute to go. Long pass, and like I said, the Raiders done a really good job of really being able to take the air out here, and probably going to do about the same.
15 gets a foul.
And that will be Kaylee Shepard, her third, and team foul number 4. They'll bring in a bunch of younger players on the Raiders side too, as they're already starting to celebrate a little bit on the bench. Schrader inbounds to Schumann. Up and good. Skipple out there on the floor, too. And we're going to have
Raiders got 12.
so timeout on the floor from the Wayne Trace Raiders. I don't think the coach really wanted a timeout.
No, didn't look like it.
But she said it, and when she started to argue, the referee said timeout, timeout's a timeout. And there you go. So 30-second timeout. Raiders up 44-25. As, again, the Aces came out after halftime, battled back to within 3, but then the polar vortex spun down on their half of the court. The Raiders, meanwhile, got some of that tropical heat wave, and next thing you know, Aces down by over 20. They've managed to get it back to 19. Under 10 seconds. And like I said, it's just, let's play keep away here. Hold the ball, and that'll do it. Ouch.
Oh, 44-25.
So the Aces take their first loss in the GMC at the hands of the Lady Raiders of Wayne Trace. And they get destiny taken out of their own hands. Now they're going to not only need to win out, but they're going to have to hope that somebody in the league is going to be able to knock the Raiders off of their post.
Okay, ready to roll here. The scoring for Wayne Trace, Claire Sim had 18 total points. Miriam Sim at 3, Sadie Sim 4, Carly Shepard 3, Gracie Gudikins 16, and that is 44. For Hicksville, Katie Bergman had 4, Micah Schrader 12, 2 for Alexis Kearns, 4 for Addie Bergman, and 3 for Harley Schumann. And the Aces were 1 of 6 at the free throw line, and Wayne Trace was 9 of 14.
So even if they'd shot 100%, it would not have done the Aces any good here tonight, as they just hit that icy spell where they were not able to. I mean, usually, as we were talking, usually Katie Bergman will connect a couple times from the corner from three-point land, and she bounced them off the rim all night. And Alexis Kearns, normally able to clean up with 2 or 3 nice layups, and she had the opportunities, and she couldn't get them to drop, and just a lot of opportunities for the Aces. And then, like I said, and then give the Raiders credit too, because they knew what they had to do, and they came out in the first half and they shut Addison Bergman down.
Yes, they did.
That's probably the lowest scoring game that Addie has had in a while, where she finishes with just 4 points to her credit.
Oh yeah. No doubt about that.
So,
no doubt.
So with that, this is the last home game for the Lady Aces. They'll finish out their schedule on the road. They'll be taking on next week Eden, and then North Central, and they'll finish up the regular season in the GMC against Ayersville on the day after Valentine's Day. So they'll need to win that game, and then, like I said, hope that whoever the Raiders play for their last league game knocks them off. And then once they wrap up with that, then they have a bit of a break, so they'll have almost 10 days of recovery time, Jim, until the 24th. They got a first-round bye in their sectional, so they are going to be traveling down to Lincoln View, down in around Van Wert, and they will be playing the winner of the Wednesday night game, or whatever it is down there.
Crestview and Patrick Henry.
So whomever wins that game, that's going to be another big game, because Patrick Henry is no slouch for girls basketball, and neither are the Crestview Knights. So,
right.
So it's not going to get any easier for the Aces, but again, they'll have a nice 10-day layoff to get rested up and recovered. And at this point in the season, everybody's a little banged up around the edges.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, that's really the problem. It's been a long season, People
And-
getting banged up, and especially.
If you get one of those little nagging things,
Yeah.
it may not be a big deal, but I mean, if you get a stinger in your hip or whatever, and you've just got that dull throb after about 3 weeks, it can really become annoying. So.
Yes.
So anyway, we'll see how things go, and we'll look forward to seeing the Aces on the tournament trail coming up on February the 24th. Now for our broadcast schedule, we have made arrangements to go down to Wayne Trace on Friday night, but we're putting an asterisk by that because first off, again, depending on the injury situation, it may not be quite the game that we thought it would be. And also we have what could be a pretty large winter storm heading in our way, too. So we'll see how, depending on how that storm tracks, the snow may have an effect on the roads, whatever. So we'll see whether we actually make it down to Wayne Trace to cover that game or not. And if we don't, then the game that we will have will be on February. Actually, let's see. The boys play Ayersville on February 16th. And I also think that we're going to try to cover the 7th grade tournament that's going to be hosted here at Hicksville. And I think that one starts on Tuesday the 13th, if I remember correctly. So anyway.
Okay.
But with that, we're done. We're going to wrap it up here tonight. Just a tough loss for the Aces. And we're going to head home before the snow flies.
Yes.
Once again, final score tonight here from the Red Zone. It was the Lady Raiders of Wayne Trace knocking off the Aces 44-25, the final score. Thank you once again to the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships, our basketball broadcast underwriters, and for Ben Vandenbos on the camera and Jim Seiler calling the play-by-play. I'm Bill Murphy with Hicksville Community Television, wishing you good night and good sports.